You just gave a quote to a client and then they tell you that they can't move forward because they need to get other quotes first. This is a common objection that is so easily preventable if you know the right things to say, and that's exactly what you're going to learn inside of this video. This is a live coaching call, a Q&A session with one of our members inside of the Contractor Marketing Mastermind. And if you're new here, my name is John Cameron. I'm the founder of the CMM, and since starting, we've helped more than 350 contractors generate millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of work. These are also the same strategies that I use inside of my own contracting business that allowed me to double our sales 2 years in a row, and I'm passing along the lessons here for you because these are simple things that if you know how to do, you will book way more work and grow your business way faster.
One thing is, when I want to book an appointment, one of the questions, like we're asking them if they're getting quotes from other companies, and we want to be one of the last one, but it often happens that you go and they're still waiting on the quote, even though all of those were discussed in pre-screening and when you're booking appointments and all that. So for clients that they keep dragging this, how do you overcome that objective?
So we'll start at the top. When you say that they're asking or you're asking if they're getting other quotes, do you ask that question specifically during the initial phone call?
No, not like that specifically, but we ask, are they shopping around? Are they expecting other codes? And we would love to come in when they have all their codes. So yeah,
Okay.
something.
So we'll start there, and I will definitely answer that question because it is something that can come up. Let's just think about the psychology here of even asking this question in the first place. What do people typically say when you ask them if they're getting other quotes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Why do you think they're answering that question with a yes? What are some of the reasons?
Because they want me as a service provider to know that I do have other options, that I'm comparing it with your option and you're not the only one. So, in terms of quality could be, in terms of price could be, basically there are other things to compare.
Yeah. I would never ask on a call if somebody was planning on getting other quotes unprompted. So
Okay.
the way that we fish this out, because you still want to know, are they getting other quotes? But if you ask them, are you getting other quotes? It would be crazy for them to say no, because then they just think that they're going to get price gouged and that you're not going to be as competitive. So if anybody were to ever ask me, am I comparing options? I would go, yeah, for sure. That way I'm going to get the best price. Now, whether or not that's actually what ends up happening when somebody gives a quote is a totally different thing. But at least from a psychology standpoint, if you ask somebody if they're getting other quotes, they're always going to say yes. And what you've really done is you've given them a back door later on to say, oh, we still have to go and get other quotes. So what I prefer to ask instead is the 10% off question, or you don't even have to offer them 10% off, but you can just pre-close them on making the decision. Because that's what I'm actually trying to do when I'm on that initial phone call with them, is I'm seeing, are you going to be in a place where when I come by, if I put together a quote that fits within your budget, right? You feel really confident that we're the right people, best people. And then the timeline, are you in a position to move forward? If all of those things check, like if all of those boxes are checked, you feel good about the price, you feel good that we're the best person, and the timeline, could you see yourself moving forward on the day of the estimate? That's the question I want to know. I don't want to know, do they want to get other quotes? I want to know, are you ready on the day of the estimate?
No.
Now from that point, they can say no, and I go, okay, cool. And by the way, the reason why I asked that question is because sometimes people are considering getting other work done, like maybe getting the roof replaced, and that
True.
just
Yep.
takes a bigger priority. So I just wanted to see if there was anything outside of you feeling really confident that we're the right people, the budget, making sense, you feeling like it's a fair price, and the timeline that would stop you from being able to make a decision on Saturday. Is there anything outside of those three things?
Well, possibly, basically, sure, beside the service, beside they're unsure whether they want to do this or not, and beside if they want to do other renovation and they don't know who's gonna come first, for example, and they need to plan all that out.
Yeah. Now, at this point, they may say, oh, well, I'm getting other quotes. And if they say at this point, after I've asked this question, they're getting other quotes, then I can start that process. But I don't want to just ask them, are they getting other quotes? Because they're just going to say yes. What I want to ask is, if all of these things line up, could you see yourself taking advantage of this discount and moving ahead with us on Saturday? That's the question that I care about. Then at that point, they might go, no, I'm getting other quotes. Or they might just go, no, I don't make a decision on the day of the estimate. Then you can reconfirm And I like to do it in the negative, where I then flip it and I say, is there anything that would be stopping you outside of these three things? They say no, there's nothing else outside of that. Then I tie down again and I say, great. So if we could you do it? They say yes. If during this like pre-closing process, they say I'm looking to get other quotes, at that point I can deal with it. And here's how I would do that. I would deal with that on the phone call. I would not be dealing with that once I get in person. Once you're in person, it's almost too late. So at this point, the person says, yeah, I'm getting other quotes. And so, no, I can't. I go, great. When are these other quotes? Then they say, oh, it's on Sunday. Originally, our quote was maybe on Saturday, right? And I go, oh, okay, awesome. What we'll do then is we'll just reschedule our quote till Sunday at 2 p.m. because you said that this was at, 10 a.m., let's say, Sunday at 10 a.m. We'll reschedule to 2 p.m. That way, if you feel like we're the better price, you feel like we're the best people and the timeline, at least then you could actually take advantage of this 10% off. Because I would never expect you to move forward with us if you didn't have this other quote. And I would hate to come out to give you this quote. You actually feel like of the two options, we're the best. You feel like it's the best price. We're like, yeah, we're the best people, the best price, and the best timeline. But you couldn't take advantage of the discount and save some money simply because you haven't gotten your other quotes yet.
Okay, there's a but here though.
Sure.
So with us and this system that as soon as we get the request, we call them, oftentimes that other companies are not even there or haven't even called them or haven't even scheduled, or they called and haven't showed up. So what were we gonna do then? They're gonna be like, because a lot of times when I call, they're like, wow, you guys are quick. Oh, this is awesome. And like, so they haven't heard from other companies yet to even schedule that like the scheduled in-person site visit yet.
Totally fine. So earlier on in the conversation, what I would have been establishing is what their timeline is for getting the job done. So let's just say, for example, they had said, oh, I want to get this done next month. Well, I'm going to then use that to help them figure out when they're getting other quotes. So if they go, oh, I don't know, you're the first person that I contacted, I go, okay, great. Well, given that you're looking to get this done in the next month, when are you planning on actually reaching out to these other companies? So I can just ask another when question. Oh, I don't know, probably like this week. Okay, great. What we'll do then is let's just reschedule your quote until the following week. That way you have an opportunity to go and get these other quotes. And then that way, if you felt like we were the best, great. And what I'll do is I'll check back in, right? So we just pushed it like a week. I'll check in, the new quote time is here. I'll check in a couple of days before just to make sure that you actually had an opportunity to get those other quotes.
But what if those other companies, they already closed them? Just the same way that when we go as a first client and we give them this offer, they just like go ahead without even hesitating to even get other pricing because they're just happy with it.
So that can definitely happen. As a principle, though, if you follow this process, you will definitely end up closing way more of the deals because if they feel like they want to get multiple quotes, they're going to feel like they want to get multiple quotes. And so the chances of you booking it are way higher following this process than being the first person in, and then they still want to go and get the other ones. Now, there is an extra question that you can ask, which is they say, oh, I'm getting other quotes. Okay. And just to confirm here, it's like if we were to come out and we were to give you a price that fit within your budget, you felt 100% confident that we were the best people to do it for you, and we were able to meet your timeline, would you still need to go and get other quotes to kind of just like shop around and see what else is out there? Or if I was able to put together something, would you be able to move forward and save that 10% on Saturday?
Okay.
So
that's fair enough.
You can ask that. Most of the time, though, and the reason I didn't start off with that is that people go, no, I would still want to go and get other quotes. It's very rare that people come back and then they're like, no, if everything lined up, I would be able to. Usually if they're wanting to get other quotes and they like said that was the reason why they couldn't make a decision on the day of the estimate, they're still going to be looking to get that to happen. They're still going to look to go and get those other quotes. Hope you found that helpful. If you want our team's help scaling your contracting business, then in the description, you're going to see some links where you can book a call with somebody on my team. And what we'll do is we'll break down your contracting business and identify the 1 to 3 steps that you need to take to be able to grow your business. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.